So was it a fluff speech? Or if it was a fluff speech? Did you say it was a fluff speech?
Well, I didn't. There wasn't a lot of detail.
What do you think about
and it wasn't very long.
What do you think about the proposal that we raise the riverboat gaming tax back to, I think the top rate would be 70%?
Well, that becomes counterproductive, and I think we found that out last time the governor did this, when they did it about 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when we finally got it rolled back somewhat. They quit marketing in Illinois and then started marketing in other states, and we saw traffic go to Indiana, Missouri, wherever it might be, and we lost actually revenue as a result of that. So you can't continue to tax.
So how do you get a budget if pretty much everything the governor said today you say is something you don't like? Where does the budget come from?
Obviously there is some revenue growth. There will be some of that. We'll be all about taking a look at the details of what he wants to do. There'll be some things we'll agree with, and I'm not here to cast stones constantly at the governor. That's not my way generally. Has been, I guess, for the last 5 years. But anyway, no, I mean, I just like to work with the man. I'd like to be able to sit down and work with him and get these problems ironed out in what I would consider to be bipartisan fashion. And that, to me, is something that's been lacking here.
Anything you heard that you do agree with so far?
The capital bill. I appreciate the fact he's continually talking about a capital bill.
But just not the funding source he mentioned.
Yeah,
the funding source is a question.
The Speaker indicated the House would be having its own special budget hearings throughout the state. Do you think that sets up the legislature doing its own budget again, or trying to go its own way?
Well, we tried to do that last year. We thought we made some significant progress with that, and then, of course, President Jones took a different direction. So I would welcome the opportunity to work with the Speaker and President Jones and Tom Cross, all of us working together, and the governor. I'd like to see us all working in behalf of the people of the state, and I just don't know that that's going to happen. I had hopes when this session began that maybe things would be kind of put behind everyone and move forward and take the egos out of the equation and let's do what's right for the state and the people. But I don't think that's happening.
We need a capital bill. As the governor pointed out, which has been known to all, we in the Senate on a bipartisan basis did pass a capital bill. And since the House did not act, so the governor coming with another proposal. And so we'll try to deal with this particular
They're selling off 80% of the lottery. Is that the way to go?
I don't know what percent it is, but if we can get $7 billion and use that as a pay-as-you-go, plus do some bonding, if it's the will of everybody to go in that direction, we should do it.
What's your thoughts? Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, it's a good idea. Yes.
Is there money to give tax rebates to, 1.3 million?
We just got the budget this morning, and his 20% tax cut for those corporations who do pay corporate taxes. Many do not pay any corporate tax, and it's a way to try to jumpstart the economy here in the state of Illinois.
Senator, we're talking this right now about fiscal 09, but the current budget, the state may run out of money sometime in April, May. What are you going to do to close that budget hole and get us up to July?
Well, the governor did mention that, and when we passed the budget last August, the economy has been on a downfall ever since. Our revenue projections have been off, and so we've got to do something to close that gap in the budget for 08, which means we've got to do that immediately.
What's on the table to do that?
Well, possibly closing some loopholes, maybe do some sweeps, some chargebacks, which we've done in the past.
Those haven't been too popular so far, though. Do you think they have legs this year?
Well, again, we do have a problem.
Is there too much new spending here considering the economy?
What do you call new spending?
The stimulus package.
The what?
The stimulus package, the child care credit, the 20% cut for tax for
Again,
businesses.
We haven't gone over the budget in detail. Until we go over the budget and see where the revenue projections are and see where the revenue enhancements are, then I have a better answer for you.
The governor seemed to dig in his heels today on the idea of any new or raised taxes for individuals, the average everyday person.
I understand that, but
you're saying that
if it is the will of the General Assembly to pass the income tax, I'll be supportive of such.
Does it sound like he's going to support that, though? It sounds to me like he'll
it was the will of the General Assembly to pass an income tax, to get us out of the hole, to better fund education, to give property tax relief, I'll be supportive of such.
What size increase would you support?
Well, I believe Senator Meeks has put in a bill. I believe he has go from 3 to 5%. So it'll be it won't be a 2% increase.
Senator, did the governor consult with you prior to putting together his budget?
No.
How about 300 million for education? Is that adequate? I think that's the smallest number in his administration.
So far, it is the smallest amount, and if we do income tax, it'll be much greater than that. But it got to be the will of the General Assembly on a bipartisan basis to pass any.
Do you support the governor's plan to have the pension bonds to put more money in the pensions?
Yes, I support that simply because I believe the interest rates are low enough now that we will save money by doing the bonding issue as we done in the past to put more revenue into it.
Does this document present a series of proposals that you think can withstand and hold up to the log jams and the vitriolic infighting that we've seen in the past couple of
If
sessions?
there's a will of the members who say they want a capital bill, the Republicans want a capital bill. We, as I indicated before, want a capital bill in the Senate. We passed one. And so it's up to the members of the House, the Speaker, to sit down and say, okay, we want a capital bill, let's sit down and get it done. If we don't do it, there are millions of federal dollars that we have to match. If we don't pass a capital bill, those dollars will be going to other states. So we've got to do it. And I believe reasonable people will be able to sit down and come to an agreement on that.
You also spent a lot of time last year working on a big expansion of gambling to pay for a capital program. Do you think that's still the right way to go, or do you think there's just not support for that kind of expansion?
Again, we passed that bill on a bipartisan basis in the Senate. Gaming at that particular time was our only source of revenue to drive a capital bill. And this does not, because the governor has a proposal, if individuals in the House want to come back to gaming, I have no problem with that. But this is the governor's proposal. I'll support that. If the House decides they want to do a gaming to do it, I'll do that.
Mr. President, the Speaker released a statement saying that the people of Illinois are tired of acrimonious budget wars, and he wants to get out of here early this year. What do you say?
That gets back to the question that one asked earlier. So if the Speaker wants a capital bill, then he'll sit down sincerely to put forth the necessary votes and pass one. If the Speaker wants to get a budget and get out of here in plenty of time, then we in turn will get out. But you cannot sit back and chop holes in everything one attempts to do and then say you want to get out of here early. That takes cooperation.